August 1942. On a jungle island most Americans had never heard of. A dirt runway was about to decide the fate of the Pacific War. Japan was building an airfield on the island of Guadalcanal. Finish it, and Japanese bombers could reach Australia. They could cut off America's lifeline to the entire South Pacific. So the US Marines decided they'd take it first. On August 7, 1942, Marines stormed ashore and seized the half-built airstrip before Japan could finish it. They renamed it Henderson Field, after a pilot killed months earlier at Midway. Then came the gut punch. After a crushing naval defeat at Savo Island, the Navy withdrew. The ships that brought the Marines here were gone. They were alone. No reinforcements, no real supply line, just a dirt runway, and whatever they could scrape together to defend it. They called themselves the Cactus Air Force, a patchwork of Marine, Navy, and Army pilots, flying whatever planes could be spared, half-starved, riddled with malaria, flying multiple missions a day on almost no sleep. Ground crews patched bullet holes with scrap metal between sorties just to get planes back in the sky. Night after night, Japanese battleships crept offshore and shelled the airstrip point blank. Survivors called them the bombardments. Hours of pure terror, craters torn into the runway, men praying in foxholes. And every single morning, ground crews filled the craters with coral rubble by hand and got the planes flying again before sunrise. By October, the Cactus pilots were outnumbered on almost every mission. But in one legendary clash, this exhausted ragtag squadron tore into a Japanese air raid and won decisively. It became a turning point, not just in the battle for Guadalcanal, but in the morale of the entire Pacific campaign. As long as Henderson Field stayed open, Japan could not win Guadalcanal. And if Japan couldn't win Guadalcanal, it couldn't hold the Solomons. Historians now call this the moment Japan's momentum in the Pacific finally broke. This scrap of coral and steel, barely defended, barely supplied, held together by exhausted men and sheer will, decided who would win the war in the Pacific. Henderson Field never fell, not once. Stories like this one rarely make it into textbooks. If you want more of them, true stories told right, subscribe. There's more history worth remembering.